without further ado, let me bring on Catalina and her first guest. Welcome to the show.
Yes, hello,
Thank you.
Catalina. Are you there?
I'm here.
Hello. So today we are here with the mesmerizing Catalina Girald. She is she's the founder, CEO, and creative director of Naja. So you started Naja with the goal of empowering women through lingerie, from the wearer to the garment worker. And prior to Naja, you traveled the world for 18 months, living with nomads in Mongolia. Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
I did. I've always had this fascination with indigenous people, and so when I was traveling, my goal was to go to communities that I thought wouldn't be around in 40 years. And Mongolia was really interesting because 60% of the country is nomadic, and so I ended up living with these tribes on the border of Kazakhstan that are eagle hunters. There was a movie recently, actually, that was filmed in that area called The Eagle Huntress. And they learned to hunt fox and wolves.
Wow.
And they used belts. And it was fascinating, absolutely fascinating living with them and seeing how.
Mm-hmm. Well, that sounds...
living is. Yep.
That sounds like an incredible experience. And it also says here that you are a woman of many talents. You also have an MBA from Stanford University and a JD from Boston College. And now you live in New York City and Los Angeles, California. So I want to talk a little bit more about Naja. So how did you get started?
We started Naja really because after having traveled the world and living with these tribes in different places, one of the things that struck me was how strong the women of the tribes were. And men and women definitely had different roles, but they were very strong and much stronger than I guess what I'm used to seeing in Western women. And so I started looking at that and realizing that a lot of us grow up with insecurities because of the way girls are brought up. And so I wanted to do something in order to change that. And my experience was in e-commerce in the past. I had started another company. And so I thought, well, what industry is an industry in fashion that makes women feel insecure? Mm-hmm. And I thought lingerie was one that could use some disruption.
You're definitely right.
It was marketed toward women.
Mm-hmm.
Back then, when we started Naja, it was 2014, the beginning of 2014.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot has changed since then. I think a lot of companies are moving toward more real-looking women and toward advertising that is less sexualized. But Victoria's Secret was definitely a pioneer in the sexualized marketing, and I don't think that does anything positive for women or young girls. And so that was the initial goal. And then, if we were going to empower the wearer, then I started looking at the manufacturing processes and realized that 98% of garment workers were female, and the majority of them are single mothers or women heads of households, but the conditions for garment workers around the world are terrible.
Well,
so that was sort of how it started.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think what you're doing is absolutely incredible. And here it says one of your co-founders is Gina Rodriguez. So how did you manage to get her involved?
Well, Gina met before to do that, actually. We were featured on Procter & Gamble, had a thing called 14 that are rising up in the world, and they did these videos. And so the guy who was filming using it said, "Oh, there's actress. I'm going to go film, and I know she might not be lingerie. Can I put you in touch?" And so that was before Gina had even auditioned for Cambridge.
Mm-hmm. Well,
so that's how that started.
Well, especially having someone like that on your team is absolutely incredible. But I want to know a little bit more about you as well. So what is Underwear for Hope? Because I know that's something that you started as well.
Yeah, we started Underwear for Hope. It was before Naja, actually. And the idea was to provide employment to women in the slums. Mm-hmm. So what we do is, rather than packaging our garments in plastic bags when we ship them to our third-party logistics provider in the States, we employ women in the slums to make bags that are made out of cloth. And so the women can work from home using their own sewing machines, and they can work as much or as little as they want And so it provides a source of sustainable income for them. And these are women that are in very, very, very impoverished areas and otherwise wouldn't be able to work.
Wow. I mean, that's an absolutely revolutionary idea. And I want to know a little bit more about how the product is ecologically friendly, because I know that's also a really big aspect of Naja.
Yeah. So that came later. I think as soon as we started manufacturing, just because I'm one of these people that likes to learn everything about processes, I realized, wow, dyes are incredibly harmful to the earth. And the amount of water consumed in dyeing any kind of garment is high. And so most of that water isn't being processed correctly, and a lot of it is going into rivers and oceans and polluting the local farmlands. And so I didn't want to have that impact. And so we digitally print about 70% of our clothing, even some of our laces. And what that means is that rather than using dye or water in the production process, we put the fabric through a printer. And it's almost like an inkjet printer, where it just prints the color on top of the fabric. And so, and that way we're conserving water because no water is used in the process of printing the fabric. So that's our most ecological. We also use some fabrics made out of recycled plastic bottles.
Wow. I didn't even know that you could be able to print lingerie like that, because usually the fabrics are so fragile. That how did you work out that process?
That's kind of been my pet project, is understanding how that works. And one of the things that people don't really know about Naja is how short our supply chain is. And so by being able to digitally print, we can make a lot fewer products. So to give you an example, the minimum order quantity if you get something produced in China is usually 10,000 units per product, which
and so
you can divide into 3 colors.
Exactly, and
we
so
never make.
So I was going to say, so by doing that, you're really able to cut down on the costs and empower even more women. So where can they buy this product?
You can buy it at naja.co, naja.co.
Perfect. And what's next for Naja?
Next for Naja, well, we started activewear, which I'm really excited about. It's really cool. Our activewear is our most eco-friendly product, and it's really pretty.
Fabulous. So when is that going to be available?
So already on the site, we just launched a new collection that's about 6 weeks ago, and we're hoping to expand it.
Awesome. So if anyone wants to buy your products, they go to Naja, and it's spelled Naja.co.
That's correct.
.co. Perfect. Well, thank you so much for being on the show with us today, and I'm definitely going to go and purchase some.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Catalina.
All right. Thank you for joining us. That was our first interview with our millennial entrepreneur, Catalina Kusanova. Catalina, thank you so much for doing that. I want to make sure that everybody knows that you're going to be talking about issues that have to do with millennials and how they start businesses and how they make them run, right?
Yes. So we're going to have hopefully now a weekly segment, and I'm going to bring in a little insider view.
Perfect. Every Thursday?
Yes.
All right. First segment every Thursday, everybody. All right. And this segment was brought to you by artmail.co.